You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by Sonos. Sonos is the official sponsor of ESPN College Football. Go to Sonos.com to learn more. Happy Charlie Tuesday to everyone. We're joined by Charlie 5, Auburn message board legend. We've got some stuff to talk about, my friend.
We have a few things to talk about. Let's get it. Let's get after it.
Just a few. So a few minutes before we're recording this on Monday afternoon, Bo Nix officially enters the transfer portal. And it's interesting because next to his name, Charlie 5, is a do not contact tag, which traditionally means leave me alone. I already know where I'm headed. There's no reason to call me.
You would have to think that would be what that means, because how else are they going to get in touch with him? You go into the portal so that theoretically, when I go into the portal, then coaches can contact me. So if you don't have a contact me tag on it, then have you already made up your mind? Is there already something going on? Kind of seems that way.
Charlie, if he goes to UCF to follow Gus Malzahn, the memes will be never ending.
I will laugh my you-know-what off. That would be the most hilarious thing that I've ever seen, if that actually happens.
Seeing a lot of him being linked to other SEC schools, but that'll be interesting to see. I'm so afraid to say stuff because I don't have time to re-record this tonight. So I'm purposely leaving it vague. So let's zoom out and go big picture here. Charlie 5.
Real quick, I'll say one thing real quick. If Pat Nix sends his son to be coached by Gus Malzahn twice, he should be arrested for child abuse. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Put that out there on the line. Child abuse is what it would be. Go ahead.
All right, there you go. So the big picture ramifications of all of this in your mind are what, Charlie 5?
I mean, the way I look at it is, I really got to eat some crow because I really liked Bo. I always kind of took up for Bo, stood up for him, and I kind of felt like I didn't really want to hold the first 2 years against him because it was, there was a track record of malpractice when it comes to quarterback development. So I was going to give him this year, and we saw some improvement. We definitely still have the little psychotic episodes that he goes through where he just kind of loses it out on the field and can't reel it back in.
It's all less of it, though. It's all less of it this
year. Did see less of it. So it's like, what are you really replacing? What do we really have to replace? We just have to replace average, because when you take the highs of the highs and then the lows of the lows, it just comes out to average. So if you're just replacing average, if you can get a little bit better offensive line play, maybe get a couple of weapons in the portal, how hard is it to replace average? Just remember that. At the end of the day, that's what you're replacing.
I made the comment on my show yesterday where it's like you look at the portal and Bo Nix is better than most of the quarterbacks in the portal. I got some pushback from that. Do you agree, or do you say, hold on, Bo may be middle of the pack when you look at the portal stuff?
I would say that there's probably some high-end ceiling of Bo that's probably better than a lot of guys, but we've seen that it's really hard for him to maintain that level, and you're going to have the floors could be lower than anybody in the portal, as far as it doesn't matter who it is, no competition, whatever, it doesn't matter. So I think there's some guys in there that Harsen could match with and do pretty well with, and just achieve that little bit of consistency above average. And you never know what could happen. I really like the kid from USC. I'm gonna be honest, I like both of the LSU guys. I mean, call me crazy. I like both of the LSU guys in there. It would suck for TJ, because they're both better than him. But I mean, yeah, there's some intriguing names in the portal at quarterback.
I'm right there with you. As far as how Bo Nix handled all of this,
it's worse as it possibly could be.
Yeah. It
could not have been any worse.
It's almost so bad where it's like, did he do this to hurt Auburn? Because, I mean, it's almost everything he did was like the worst possible case of all of this, with the exception of, maybe he makes the announcement Tuesday evening instead of like late on Sunday. Maybe that's the only way he could have handled it worse. But
let's just start with this. He started it at the Iron Bowl. The biggest one of the chance you can kind of try to redeem yourself, try to go out and knock off Alabama. He starts it with the opening game press conference, or opening game interview. Like, are we not? I mean, how do we not know word traveled through the sidelines right there? Like, I mean, a huge distraction before the Iron Bowl. We made it about Bo, and then you go into the off season and you say this whole thing. You play this whole game where it's like, oh well, all options are on the table. I'm not sure what I want to do. Blah 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 blah. We got portal guys that we could be talking to. We got receiver recruits that we're trying to reel in, big time receiver recruits that we're trying to reel in. And he drags it on out. And then, if the rumors are true that over the weekend there was that final little meeting with his dad and him and the coach, and some quote unquote demands or concerns were not met, it's pretty interesting that yesterday morning, the first thing that Harsen tweeted at 7:22 a.m. was essentially, I pulled it up, so I want to read it. And
Sunday morning, you mean?
12:12. So that was Sunday morning. Sorry. Sunday morning. You need to work as hard to be a great teammate as you do a great player. That is very interesting. And then that night is when Bo put it out there that, or was it regardless, after that, that's when Sunday night, that's when Bo put it in that he is going into the portal 3 days before signing day. And he already knew where it's clear now that he already knows where he's going. We don't know where that is yet, but it's pretty clear that he already knows where he's going. So he waited, instead of waiting until after signing day to where there's no possible chance you can hurt Auburn. It's signed. The kids are there. There's no anybody that, I mean, you want to call it shady, whatever. It happens all over the country. Coaches stay and leave after signing day, whatever. All of that is it. I mean, it's hard not to argue that it was not done to give the most impact, either hurt Auburn the most or give himself the most attention. That's what it seems like. Yeah. And he did it with a Nike pullover on too. How about that?
Do you think that was intentional?
Oh yeah. Come on. Yeah. Not going to wear any Under Armour, anything.
The rumor of the meeting between Bo, his dad Pat, and Harsen.
Yes.
With the demands that they threw out. Do you believe all that? Do you think all that's legit?
I don't think that it was like a list of like, hey, if you don't do this, this, and this, we're leaving. But I do think it was like, hey, we would like to see, let's say, I think Bo sort of thrives in more of a wide open offense where he throws it 50 times a game and it's like fast up tempo. And, you're bringing in Zach Hill, who pounds the ball a lot. Harsen likes to run the ball a lot of play action stuff. And I mean, maybe that's one of the things they said, hey, maybe we want to see a lot more action in the portal. We want to see you go after this guy or this guy. I can see where those conversations could be had. And I'm not 100% sure that voicing your concerns to the coach in and of itself is bad. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's necessarily in and of itself is bad, but if it's one of those situations where it's like, we feel like we have the leverage because there's not much behind me, so I'm going to sort of flex on you a little bit and just, and Harsen said, whatever you got to do, but we're going to do things my way. And, they're gone.
I think that's the right way to handle it. Absolutely. It's a Charlie Tuesday. Today's show brought to you by our friends at BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered all season for more props and odds and lines than ever before. As football season continues, it's March to the playoffs in the NFL, and bowl season is here, of course, with college football. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to BetOnline's new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline where the game starts. And also, I'm going to bring Charlie 5 back in for this one.
Oh, yeah.
I've been telling you about Prize Picks. 5, you love Prize Picks. If you haven't signed up, what are you waiting for? In addition to college football action, Prize Picks makes college basketball even more exciting. Look, Jabari Smith at 18.5. Give me the over.
Hit it every time.
Over on that. Yeah.
Hit it every time. He's going to score 20 points every game.
No question. But Prize Picks, it's a leader in college daily fantasy sports. It is a blast. And if you're like Charlie 5, you can make bank. Just tweet at him. Just tweet at Charlie 5 for his Prize Pick picks, and maybe he'll help you out there. But when you sign up, you can get an instant deposit match of up to $100. All you have to do is use promo code Locked On. Don't hesitate. Check out prizepicks.com. Use promo code Locked On or go to your app store to download the app today. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. The demands thing, the idea that the Knicks would make demands is super interesting to me because he's not that good. Like, I think he could be. I think he's been ruined to some extent. I think Harsen helped him take a big step forward between his sophomore season and his junior season, but he's just not a dude where it's like, the program is going to bend the knee to Bo Nix. That's just not it. And, maybe that's something that Gus would have been like, okay, yeah, maybe so. Cool, dude, whatever, just stay here. But Harsen's just not that guy. Harsen's just not that guy at all. Harsen would rather go with TJ Finley into 2022 and be like, we're going to play my way, whether we win or lose. This is what's best for the program long term. Sure.
And, we may not we may have to prepare for we may not have the absolute just slam dunk quick turnaround. I mean, this thing can be a build, an actual build. And I hope Auburn is prepared for that. I hope Auburn fans are prepared for that.
It's important.
But yeah, that I just think that they thought they had a lot more leverage than they actually did. And it turns out that Harsen doesn't play that game at all. And he's going to do things his way. And I think I've said that from the beginning. He doesn't really care what other people think. He doesn't really care what people say. He's going to do it the way that he thinks is the best way to win games. And I think we should trust him and just, see what happens. There's still so much that can happen. I mean, I just don't think people fully grasp how this portal thing is changing. I mean, the list of quarterbacks in the portal right now is absolutely incredible. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. And the old adage, well, you can't build a program off transfers and I just don't think that's true anymore. I don't think that's true anymore because I don't think it's, I don't think your transfers are all disgruntled kids or bad kids anymore. I don't think that's what's always in there anymore. I think it's, guys looking to better their situation and, now they have a free chance to do it. So it's a new ball game. For sure.
An aspect of the Bo Nix thing that I think is interesting is you and I talked about this every week for the past few weeks. Auburn's got to hit the transfer portal hard, and it'll be interesting to see how many times can I say interesting in this sentence, but two, how when they hit the portal, how many dudes are they going to be able to have after the signing day stuff?
Right.
Because if it's around 7 or 8 and you look at it, say, okay, well, you probably want 1 or 2 DBs. You probably want a linebacker. You probably want 1 or 2 defensive linemen. Then on the offensive side of the ball, you probably want 2 offensive linemen. You probably want a receiver or 2.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, there's a lot of holes on this team, but now you have to use one of those spots to go get a quarterback because I don't think they want to go with Finley as a starter going into 22. And so I think they'll give Davis a shot. I think they'll give Garner a shot, maybe, but obviously whoever the transfer is Finley. So, I mean, there's a chance this is a 4-way battle, which is fun, I guess. I don't know how you give like relevant snaps to 4 dudes.
Yeah.
In spring camp and fall camp. I just don't know what that looks like. But as far as Bo leaving and you having to go get it, it's just taking depth away from another position group. And that's something that I haven't seen that mentioned anywhere yet.
Well, the good news on defensive back is we should have already gotten the number 1 JUCO safety, Marquise Gilbert, committed. He was supposed to commit on Monday. Should have already committed on Monday. And then on Wednesday, you're going to get the number 1 JUCO corner. So maybe you don't necessarily have to go get a whole lot of DBs out of the portal with those 2 additions. Maybe one good corner that I think we may already have our eye on. But yeah, I mean, it definitely takes away a spot that that you could fill with some of the more glaring needs like offensive line and you said linebacker, things like that. Receiver for sure. But you know what? What that was one of the demands? What if portal quarterback was always part of the plan? And that was one of the demands that we don't want to see. We don't want any competition, or we don't want a portal quarterback or something like that. What if that was part of it?
Then you don't want him being your quarterback. If you're that concerned about it.
I agree 100%.
I was about to ask, well, why would Harsen even tell Bo that he's going to get another quarterback? But yeah, if the Nix has approached him and said, hey, no more quarterbacks, sir.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. And I could see that really rubbing Harsen the wrong way and be like, if you're that worried about competition, this isn't going to work.
Exactly. I'm not saying that's the case, but
it's interesting to think about.
It is definitely interesting to think about. Let's say interesting again. Ready? Go. Interesting.
There we go. Most interesting podcast in the world.
Yes.
The feeling about signing day continues to get more and more positive around the Plains.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially on defense. Defense is could be a very, very, very special class. I mean, not even with the adage, all things considered. This is just in general a very special class. Like you said, we just added Austin Osbury, who's got also, hey, look out, he's got a 5-star brother in 2023 class linebacker. It's a big deal.
Love it.
It's a big deal. Marquise Gilbert, number 1 JUCO safety. You're going to add a 4-star corner. Should that be adding a 4-star corner today? JD Rhyme, Anichi Sledge, big defensive tackle. And then signing day.
Those are 2 incredible names, by the way. Yes. Rhyme and Sledge.
The hammer.
Get out of here.
And then Wednesday, you got some big names too. You got Keontae Scott, the number 1 JUCO corner that we should get. Robert Woodyard, 4-star linebacker that we should flip from Alabama, from Mobile, which doesn't really happen very often. Looks like that's going to happen. And then, the guy that I'm most excited about, his decision's going to be announced the 19th from France, the number 1 overall JUCO player, Jeffrey Imba. He's an absolute monster. You need to go follow him on Twitter. I think his handle's like Thanos or something like that. And he's so cool. about that size. It is a great name. About that name. But you're talking the number 1 overall JUCO player coming in and plug and play in the middle on the defensive line. I mean, a very special offense, a very special defensive class. Definitely some offensive pieces that are left out there to finish. A couple of guys not signing until February. We'll just have to close strong. But defense could have a special close here Wednesday. A lot of fun.
Give me an update on your thoughts on the Curtis Perry situation.
So it's so hard. It's so hard to read that. I mean, I'm gathering info from
Harsen. Harsen posted a picture of him standing next to Perry and then the rest of his family.
Yeah,
that dude's a grown man. Like that dude is not 18. That dude is 26.
He's a very, very special player. It's just honestly, I don't even really know what to think yet on him. There's a lot of people that feel really confident. So that could be a big one. That could be a big win. It would, but honestly, I really don't know how to call yet on that one.
Right. All right. Charlie 5 joining us on this Charlie Tuesday. Hey, today's show brought to you by our friends at Omaha Steaks. So we actually have a bunch of Omaha Steaks food and meat in our freezer. We thawed out some burgers a few nights ago, had incredible burgers. Love how fresh everything tastes. The quality is so much better than anything you can go out and buy at a grocery store. So love our friends at Omaha Steaks, and you can give the gift of great tasting meat to folks in your family, friends and family. Obviously, as the holidays are around the corner, finding the perfect gift is tricky. Not with Omaha Steaks. It makes it easy to send friends and family an unforgettable gift guaranteed to be loved. So go to omahasteaks.com and enter the word college into the search bar to order. It's on a promo code. You have to go to their website and type in college as if you're searching for the product. The perfect gift package. For $99.99, you get 24 entrees, like the famous bacon wrapped filet mignons, chicken breasts, sides desserts, and so much more. And when you use that code college, you also get an additional 8 Omaha Steak burgers free with your order. So we've all heard reports and shortages and shipping delays, so don't wait. Order the perfect gift package today at omahasteaks.com, and you'll get 8 free burgers when entering the code college. Achieve greatness with Omaha Steaks. Incredible flavor, incredible value, 100% guaranteed. omahasteaks.com, keyword college. Charlie 5, we got a few minutes left to go on today's show. We're purposely dancing around the Tank Bigsby conversation.
Yes, tiptoeing so hard right now.
Hokanson reported that he expected Tank to leave. I think I saw a few other people say similar things. And then Tank's mother goes on Instagram and comments on one of the popular Auburn things, like, you guys are just making stuff up. And the premise of the report was he didn't report to bowl practice. It was him, Zacoby, and Roger McCreary that didn't report to practice, and the other two make sense. And so it's like, all right,
call me crazy. Did he not? He didn't go to bowl. He didn't play in the bowl last year, right? Didn't he sit out the bowl last year?
I don't remember.
I don't think he even played. I just that whole premise. I don't think that was a very it wasn't very compelling to me. When it was
I
first
would
reported.
not be shocked. I would not be shocked if he came back based on everything that I've heard so far today.
Right. And here's the thing about reporting too. There's times where like when you actually report something, it's true. You know what I mean? So like if I report at a certain time that Tank is leaving, at that point in time, he very well may have told people and very well may have felt like he was leaving. Right. But a lot of things change. I think that yesterday he had some meetings with the coaches, some other folks that have a lot to do with why he would still be here at Auburn. And I think things have gone pretty well. And I'm with you. I think that we're probably going to see that Tank ends up staying here at Auburn, which if you think about it from, you don't really like to think about, hey, getting a player to stay is a big recruiting win. It's a big win because he could literally go wherever he wanted. He could go to Alabama right now and probably be their best running back. He could go to anywhere, Georgia, anywhere he wanted. He might have a little bit. That's what we
were so afraid of a year ago, right? Auburn fans were like, oh my gosh, is Tank Bigsby going to go to Georgia? That would be terrible. So Jake Crane of the J-Boy Show is saying that that Tank is staying at Auburn. And we've seen updates throughout the day today on various message boards that it sounds like there was a meeting in between Tank and the coaching staff. I assume Carnell and Harsen were very involved with that.
Yes.
But I think there's positive feeling that he will stay. So whether we get anything official Monday evening before this goes up Tuesday morning or not, the feeling is, okay, Tank may be staying when it's all said and done.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's big.
Does that hurt you as far as getting some of these hot shot running backs that are going to be making their decisions over the next few days?
I would say no, absolutely not, because Tank has 1 year left. Tank has 1 year left and he's gone. And as much as these guys I think they're the best, I think they would know that it's really hard to come in year one and make an impact, but you can come behind and learn from Tank, who's going to be an NFL player. And I think, honestly, it would probably be a pretty attractive, maybe more attractive to come, knowing that Tank's going to be there, that you can kind of learn and watch from him for at least a year. And Harsen shares the ball. They share the ball. So, like, there's a good chance if you want to play, you're going to get touches. So, if you're good enough, you're going to get touches. So, I think it may end up being could be a good thing for recruiting. You got a guy like Trevante Citizen. That's a big back that they're trying to land. He's looking like he's probably going to wait until February. Long-time commitment to LSU, decommitted. That may be a good thing. Give us more time to work on him. A lot of schools are pulling him in different directions. So maybe that helps with a guy like that.
Yeah. The more I'm looking at stuff, and I actually got a note, or I actually got two different texts since we've been recording that Tank staying is more of a possibility. So I think that's exciting. I'm certainly not reporting that he is staying, but it seems like a lot of people that have some credibility are saying that it's leaning towards him staying now, which is great. That's a huge one. That's
Absolutely.
a huge one.
I'll just say this. Let's have a lot of fun with this next couple of days in recruiting, because you're going to see a lot of commits. You're going to see a lot of new faces, a lot of 4-stars, a lot of highly ranked guys, and then get ready, because next year's class is going to start off quick, and it's going to start off with a bang. I'm telling you guys, the momentum right now through the coaching staff recruiting and the NIL stuff is going to absolutely make a huge difference in the state of Alabama. The class in the state of Alabama next year is packed. Georgia, Alabama, packed with talent, and a lot of those dudes have been on campus quite a bit the last several weeks, several months. So
sure,
just be ready.
Absolutely. I'm going to put you on the spot. If you had to pick one quarterback for Auburn to go out and get, who are you taking?
I really like Keydon Slovis from USC. That would be the guy that I would pick. It would be I don't really think there's anybody else that I would really even consider. That would be my number one guy. I think he fits what the pro style element that Harsen wants to kind of implement. He threw for over 3,000 yards his freshman year. He's had a few injuries. He has had a few injuries the last couple of years, but that would be who I would go for, and he's pretty handsome too. So I don't know how to say his name correctly. I think it's Keydon Slovis is who I would take.
Slovis, yeah. I know this.
And also, hey,
yes.
real quick, he announced he was in the portal the morning after Bo went into the portal. So I'm not saying that's related, but the timing is interesting. This is the most interesting podcast. That is an interesting time frame right there.
I can really talk myself into Miles Brennan at LSU.
I can too. I like Miles.
With what Harsen wants to do, I think it makes sense.
Sure.
You want a guy with a good arm that has experience, that can make decisions. I think he makes sense. I think he makes more sense in what Harsen wants to do than what LSU had been doing the past few seasons.
1,000%. 1,000%. His freshman year, I believe, was when TJ was there. He was throwing for or maybe not his freshman year, maybe it was sophomore, but he was throwing for like 300 yards a game. Like he was lighting it up before he got hurt and TJ came in. And then, or maybe it was just one game. It was the first game. He threw for like 353 or something like that. It was crazy. But I'm like you. I think he could be he could be a good fit for this system as well.
Charlie 5, how can people find you, hear you, support you, all that good stuff?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter, _Charlie_5, AuburnLive.com, the corner message board, Auburn 247 Sports Body Get Aboard, Monday through Friday, the Dad Bod Golf Board, or jump in the Discord. Man, we're chatting it up in the Discord. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll put a link to the Discord. We haven't done that in a few weeks. We'll put a link to the Discord in the show description down below. We'll see you tomorrow. This has been Locked On Auburn.